Hello, Haris.
Hi, Nasif.
Welcome to the Social Pod,
Thank you so much.
and welcome to Dubai as well.
Thank you so much.
So, just to introduce you to the audience, I would just tell Haris, the founder of Haris&Co and Haris&Co Academy. And my first question to you: do you consider yourself as an entrepreneur, a thought leader, or a humanpreneur?
So if you look at my LinkedIn headline or Instagram headline, wherever you see me, you'll see I'm interested in talking about three things. That is marketing, culture, and leadership. More than talking about marketing, I love talking about leadership, but my niche where I work is in marketing. So and the word humanpreneur comes from an entrepreneur who does things based on human qualities, not from the rule book that has written from a very long time. So that's where humanpreneur as a word comes. So I love to consider myself as an entrepreneur, definitely. But I'm very much interested in experimenting things, and as a marketer, I think which is very important. Your job as a marketer is always to do experiments, because now marketing will always work forever. You have a deadline for every marketing strategy which you put forward, and then you need to keep experimenting. So I love to call myself as a marketing or entrepreneur plus thought leader, because I love talking about leadership. I love managing people. If you ask me why do I want to build a company, I always tell to my team, my people, that I want to build a company because I want to manage 500 people. I didn't have the clarity what company I'll build, but I want to manage 500 people.
Yeah, exactly. From there, I want to ask you this question. You build your company, Haris&Co, from one person to almost 150 people in just 3 years. And how was the journey? Is it easy? Entrepreneurship is easy, or it is? How do you define it?
So entrepreneurship, if I have to start, I didn't start from a very scratch. I had the learnings of near to 15 businesses which have failed, right? Somewhere in me did not want to come to Dubai and work.
Okay.
So that's why I lied to my family that I got a job in Calicut. I moved to Calicut, then I took a flat near to Duma and stayed there for 5 months. All my family thought that I'm working in Calicut, but I'm not. So that's where the entire thing started. I quit almost everything which I was doing right now, and I had this particular mentor who told me that, Haris, you need to correct 4 things if you want to begin fully, because I used to literally cry and pray to God that all I wanted was to do some business and earn some money. Why is this that difficult? Somewhere what I was doing was wrong. So this mentor gave me four points which I corrected, and from there I think a lot of things changed. So he told me, Haris, what is the biggest asset in life? So most people would tell money is the biggest asset. I told time is the biggest asset. But he corrected me that, Haris, focus is your biggest asset, because you cannot work into two things and tell I put 100% in two basket. No, you put 50%. So in order to build too many business, you need to have a one business that is backup for everything.
Yeah.
So that's where I quit every business which I was doing before, and that's where I understood focus is my biggest asset. I need to focus on one shit for a very long time and build that properly.
Yeah.
So second thing which he told me, there's not cheapness for success, cheap method.
Okay.
He told, start investing. So till that day I used to invest on a lot of things: trip, travel, mobile phones, accessories. I never invested in learning, right? So we all learn till college based on what parents tell us.
Most people stop learning at some point.
Yeah, but I tell you, whatever you have learned till your college days is not purposefully, because you got some push from your family or somewhere.
And society pushes you as
Exactly. What you learn post your college define you. So I spent around 35,000. I took a debt of 20,000 from that day. I spent around 35,000 for one particular course. People tell when you ask people that where do you have to invest to get maximum, they tell you need to invest in stock, you need to invest in mutual fund, you need to invest in real estate, blah blah blah. but I'm a big fan of investing in education.
Okay.
Because the right education, the education which you seek, and you decide this is what I want to learn, and then you with all the focus you start learning. No.
Okay.
Nothing beats the return on investment on that. So that one particular course changed entirely. And another great thing happened is till today, whatever I have been, because I decided to invest that amount in the learning which I want, and I make sure that every point of my life I have 1 or 2 courses that is running. I'm a student.
Okay.
Forever.
So you still learn?
I still learn. I still have courses in my dashboards which I go back.
So
I purposefully make sure that I'm a part of some courses, because you can still learn from YouTube. That's completely fine.
Okay.
But what happens is when you pay money, you pay attention.
Yeah. And also, like, most people give excuse that we don't have enough time to learn, or we don't have enough time to spend on whatever possibilities there to learn. So, like, how do you find your time and manage yourself?
So I always tell this particular thing. I put it in a very fun way. Gandhiji said, you can either excuse or make money. You can't do both.
Okay.
Right? So when you excuse on something, you have to. It all connects directly to the why. Right? Mm-hmm. You asked me about entrepreneurship. We don't do entrepreneurship to make money. We don't do entrepreneurship to have a rich side of life. We do entrepreneurship for some reason which is there in our heart, right?
Okay.
We want to do something because this is why, right? And you need to have this very strong why, because that's where everything starts, right? I tell to my team that do not ever connect the dot forward. If I have to give you an example, let's say I want to, if I do this, I'll be that. Then if I do that, I'll be this. So what happens is you're connecting the dot one by one at a time forward.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Instead, ask yourself, where do you want to see, right?
So
or what do you want, right? So this particular dot, that's a bigger dot. Now you have to connect the dot backwards. What do I have to do in order to reach there? Mm-hmm. You get a smaller dot. What do I have to do in order to reach there? You get another smaller dot. Then this dots will tell you where do you have to start, right?
Okay.
So you need to have a very strong why. That is very, 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 very important. It can be very personal. It can be very loud. It can be very private. But
it can also make you anxious.
Exactly. But that should make you, tell you to wake up every morning and do your thing, right? Mm-hmm. You don't need motivational videos. You don't need anything. But you need to have a very, very, very strong why. Okay. One of the why I had back then is I used to attend every event of Startup Mission. Okay.
Which is in
Kerala, right? Startup Mission. Okay. Yeah. So Startup Mission conducts programs for entrepreneurship, which is a very good program. What happened is one particular program, I used to come up with one idea every time, right? So one particular program, when my idea was to have plate from leaf, right, to avoid plastic. Now I was presenting this. Now one of the person from the team in the hall loudly told this, Haris, every time you come, you have one more idea. What is this? Now everybody start laughing. That is the last event I attended regarding Startup Mission. So I had this particular very strong why. People may laugh. I will only attend Startup Mission as a guest. I will not attend as an attendee. That was a why which I had. One of the why. Okay. I don't need motivational videos. I just need, did you reach there? No. Start working. What happened is 3-4 weeks back, they literally called me as a guest. So there is no much better, brighter, greater motivation than having a very, very, very strong why that is very personal, which will take you wherever you want. As an entrepreneur, you have to depend on your why.
Yeah. Can I touch upon that part?
Please.
So you had a why and you almost going to achieve that why. Yes. What will be the next why then?
You need to find your next why. I put this like this. Okay. There's a formula. Ambition should always be higher than, greater than resource. Okay. For example, if you have a 4-member team, you need to have your ambition of what work you will be doing if you have a 50-member team. Okay. Now what happens? Your ambition stays here, your resources here. Now you will try to meet this ambition. You will grow. There will be a point where ambition is equal to resource. Yeah. Now your job is to take your ambition to a next step. if I have to give you an example, last office which I had is, we had near to 60 to 80 member team. We had 3 office space. We had 1 bathroom, 1 toilet. It was very problematic.
Yeah, exactly.
Now my ambition was here. My resource was here.
Okay.
Now I changed my office. This office can have around 500 people at a time.
Okay.
I only have 100 people in my company. Now what happened? My resource is here. My ambition stays here. Now I have to work towards keeping the ambition directly proportional to resource I have. See? When you reach there, your job is to take your ambition to the next step. That's how you grow. Next step. So that's why I'm in Dubai. Because whatever I have to do there, that is done. So if I still stay there, I am always working lower than the ambition which I had.
Okay.
Now, Dubai, I'm the one great thing which I felt is, when you are in a point that most of the things are automated in your company, your job, you do not have a job that work from the very basic thing, no? I get that same feeling when I'm in Dubai, because I'm building again from the scratch, and that is what you love as an entrepreneur most.
And also, like, the city gives you a separate push as well.
Exactly, exactly. So that is something which I am very much loving when I came to Dubai, because back in Kerala, I do not have much of the things to do because groundwork is already done.
Yeah, and you took a lot of time to build that as well.
Exactly.
So it might be easier, but then it's a different terrain and different story and different goal you can set.
I'll put forward a question for you. You are also an agency owner. You started as I think production.
Yeah.
Okay. You took 6 years of engineering. I mean, post-engineering, you had a job.
I worked as an engineer for almost 6 years.
I always tell to my friends that I had a little shock when Naseef told me I'm going for a complete freelancing, because I don't know, after seeing Nazim, maybe I see you as a very nerd student, and suddenly I hear from you that you're continuing your career as a freelancer. Why?
See, for me as an individual, I always had this push to create something creative and do something unique. And I didn't want to, most probably the pressure which I had, or the societal pressure which I had as an average student, made me do engineering, and I was really enjoying that. But after a point of time, I stopped enjoying, literally. I literally stopped enjoying, but I was doing a lot of other things. Then gladly, companies like Jeep, companies like Sheikh Zayed.
I know, we are when I started my agency, and we are always fan of your videos. You used to make videos.
I used to make videos for myself. I used to travel, so I used to make videos and all. And that's when I learned things, that skill by myself. But then moving forward, I wanted to do something which can actually impact me. First of all, I did all things like what I'm doing right now also for myself initially. That was the whole idea, and I did. But then things changed, and when it evolved. Initially, the goal was to make myself happy. Then it was achieved. I started doing what I love the most. Then opportunities came. Dubai or UAE is a place where if you try for it, if you knock the door, definitely things will come to you. That's how it started, and then gladly, my MNCs,
I'll put forward one more question.
Everything came.
I am storyteller. This word was already famous in our area. Okay. Before you do anything, I remember a T-shirt with I'm storyteller and a world map. I still remember all those things, and the videos which you create during those days. We were always a fan, and we were like, okay, you drop one video in a very, you don't drop every time.
Yeah,
but
for me, I drop maybe once in a year. It's not just because I want to do something. As I said, the storyteller, I want to tell a story so that people can literally understand. That is the whole point. And I love creating documentary, portrait documentaries as well. And there are few in pipeline which we are still discussing. Hopefully, you can see more.
Great. So after that, you start as a video.
Yeah, we started as a production mainly, but we do everything mainly social media and performance marketing as well.
Okay.
Just to ask one thing, before you, I have this thing in my mind about mentoring. Even since when I was a kid, I always think about mentoring. So you mentioned you had a mentor, but my question is, how do you find a mentor?
I still have a mentor. I still have many mentors. Mentors, there are different types of mentors. Mentors who you literally follow, but they don't know you exist, right? You follow them in online. You follow them everywhere they go. You put like and comment on every post they do. So I have physical mentors also. I have mentors on these terms also. You don't find a mentor. You find a mentor as a person who aligns with your thought process,
Okay.
and who give you strategic advices on. Your mentor need not be a very successful businessman, but you have to have a mentor who is interested in you, one, because
Okay.
only if the other person is interested, they'll find time for you. Second thing is who debate with you, right?
Who always question you, like
Question
everything.
you and help you figure out things, right? So I have this particular person. I have this friend who's called Shan. Okay.
Okay.
What we do is we used to have every Friday we used to have a tea together, 45 minutes. That's it. That's a must thing. So in that discussion, I put out a lot of questions. I put out a lot of discussions.
Okay.
So I get a lot of ideas. I mean, some of the strategies which I have implemented in the agency, I got that idea from this guy. I got that idea from these discussions, right? So when you have, and the third type of mentors you need is, of course, we all heard this particular dialogue that you become like 5 people you always hang out with. I make sure that my goal of an agency is huge. I do not want to settle in Kerala. I want to build an agency that stands shoulder to shoulder to all the agencies which I've been dreaming of, like Schwang and all, Kinet, all these people. So I was an ardent follower of this agency from the day where I started. No,
Okay.
I follow these people. I try to imitate what they're doing in social media, what they're doing in LinkedIn, what they're doing, what their founders are doing. Now, what happened is you create your goal not here, you create a goal here.
Okay.
You try to imitate these larger agencies like Ogilvy and all these people. You try to do bigger things, right? What happens is you unknowingly overtake all the smaller agencies that is around you, because your goal is too far and small things never entertain you.
Yeah.
Because see, I remember my second staff, when she joined, I put out a post. Namida Wandre joined, her credentials and her credentials and everything, right? I learned that from Ogilvy page. They do when a major person join in their company, they put out such post, right?
Okay.
Now I'm a person with 2 people in my agency. Ogilvy is a company agency with 45 countries in 45 countries. But from the day when I started following them, I saw them sharing, if they are collaborating with a client, they were sharing in their social media, we are proud to associate with the client, blah blah blah. What I used to do is, even if the client is only famous in that panchayat, my caption would look like they are very famous in that entire district or entire city, state. The people who listen to this, they don't know this about the client. Whatever we write, so I'll write, we are honored to have collaborated with the biggest industry change maker of this particular industry. It is a pleasure to blah blah blah.
Yeah. So it is like saying, even though your win is small, but make it big.
Yeah, you create a branding to their name, and now they are associating with you. Now you are taking depth of their brand.
Okay.
Now people are associating with you, thinking like, okay, these many companies are associating, these bigger companies are associating. There should be something with this agency,
Okay.
So then you get that branding done right. So when you don't have any branding, you have to take depth. Be it maybe your team, their portfolio, or what you can do is you hire someone, even if they're not very experienced. You write in your social in a way that this person is joining my company. Oh my God. And people are like, this person is joining this company. There should be something.
Like mostly, like what I think is like you touch upon this one a lot of times, like about personal branding, talking about your wins, and like posting everything on social media, and even like putting status on like WhatsApp, which you had in your previous talk show as well, podcast. So, but a lot of people find it very difficult to do it for many reasons. Like for a very long time, even I find it really difficult for me to talk about the things which I do on social media, be it LinkedIn, it's a professional platform, or be it on Instagram, anything. So what is your take on that? Like, why most people fail to do so?
Most people think it as a separate job. One, I tell to my students, let's say I am giving you 15,000 every month to put content on your own LinkedIn. Will you do it or not? Yes, definitely I'll do. Just because they don't see any money coming in the initial days, they're not doing it. And
It's like an investment.
It's like an very bigger investment. Why? I'll tell you. I've discussed about this particular point in my prior podcast, that leverage. There's something called leverage.
Yeah.
Right. Leverage can only be achieved in organic branding. It cannot be achieved in paid branding. Why? Because tomorrow if an owner who has more money than you comes, he can spend 10x times than what you spend, and you're losing a lot of things. So the only advantage you have when you compare with the person who starts right now is the time.
Exactly.
And you can only take benefit of that time if you start something before than him.
Yeah.
Right?
Every time, like all the things which you do online.
Exactly.
matters.
So another point which people tell, I don't know how to build a personal brand. What I tell to the most of the people is, you don't consider building as a personal brand, you consider as documenting your professional journey.
That is a very key point then.
As simple as that. Whatever happened in your professional life, let's say you are writing in a diary, going like, you put that in LinkedIn. Forget about it.
So let's say for example, to make it simple for those people who is finding it difficult, let's just write whatever they are doing. Let's say for example, for myself, I'm doing a podcast with Haris today. Just write it on LinkedIn.
Put a photo, write it down.
Okay.
Forget about it. Because branding cannot be achieved by running ads for weeks. It cannot be achieved by putting one post. I'll tell you why. We are living in a very distracted world.
Okay.
People forget things faster than before. If you have to, let's say there are two people in Zara's WhatsApp, and I put out, I'm an experienced person, digital marketing experience with 5 years. You're just starting your career. You put out videos on a daily basis.
Okay.
I put out videos once in a week. If you ask Zara, whom will you give the work? She automatically tells, I know this guy who's very best at it. His name is Nasif. Why? It's not because you are best at it. It's because we always tend to believe that people who we see a lot, they are best. That's how we think. No, if you ask me which is the best agency, I'll have a name, right?
Yes.
I see them a lot. That's why they're best for me.
Okay.
Maybe they'll be much better agency in the world,
Okay.
right? So whom we see a lot, they are best for us. So similarly, if you try to brand yourself, people make this mistake. They will have a lot of followers, but they don't cater value to the followers they already have. That's also a mistake. You have to go in front of them again and again and again and again.
keep doing it.
Keep doing it so that they don't forget about you. And if somebody asked anything about the niche which you are working, they have your name as a first thing that comes to their mind.
Okay. So I want to talk a bit about like e-commerce and how the marketing and Shopify, everything works. So let's say, for example, there is this brand. Let's say, for example, talking about Zara, she has this pottery pots like product, but she doesn't know how to actually sell it to people. How can she do it?
Yeah, I discussed the same thing which in the last podcast. I'll tell you exact step, 1 to 10 lakh step. Your first job, create an Instagram account.
Okay.
Is not to create website.
Okay.
Yeah. Second job, click some good photos and some UGC videos.
Okay.
UGC means user generated videos. That helps a lot. Okay. Third job, put some photos and videos in the Instagram. It's okay if that Instagram account do not have a lot of followers. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
But you need to make sure that the page is lively.
Okay.
Fourth job, run some paid ads. Okay. Invest around maybe 500 dirhams.
Okay.
Max. Run paid ads to the WhatsApp contact. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You run from your Instagram account, and then the landing page is WhatsApp, business WhatsApp.
Okay.
Optimize your business WhatsApp in a best way. Have catalogs, everything ready so that people believe you.
Okay.
Now, what happens is you start getting messages. Now, if you start getting messages, that means your idea is validated.
Okay.
Okay.
Validation.
There are
That's the first
people
thing.
who are looking for this particular product.
Okay.
You have validated your idea for 500 dirhams max.
Okay.
Now, you start discussing with them. You increase your spend. You start getting 4, 5, 10 messages every day. You start discussing with them. There'll be a lot of objections. They'll ask a lot of questions. Maybe 1 or 2 products will sell. Right?
Okay.
You understood what are the major problems audience is catering.
Yeah.
What looking for, right? Because they're putting out a lot of questions. With this information, now you create a Shopify account.
Okay.
Why Shopify? It's a plug and play. If you sit in front of the Shopify, you can figure out how things work, and it's easy. Okay. The back end, everything is easy. If you want to do something, you do not need a technical background person to do basic things.
Okay.
Right? So you create a Shopify account. Now you need to design your landing page, collection page or product page in a way that you cater all the doubts which people asked you in your WhatsApp. You need to have A+ content, you need to have FAQs, you need to have comparisons, you need to have proper details. Photos, very important.
Okay,
Quality
yeah.
photos, very, very important. I know a lot of e-commerce owners, they don't invest on production, they don't invest on pictures. I'm telling a big mistake they are doing. Why? Because online is a place where people judge book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
How much ever you
Whatever we
don't
see.
want it to be like that, but people judge book by its cover. They see a particular thing in front of you, they judge you based on that quality. So you cannot do this mistake of not having a clarity picture, clarity videos, which
Okay.
is very important.
So you have to invest properly in that.
That is very important. There's no compromise on photos, quality photos and videos.
Okay.
You can compromise on everything else, but no compromising on quality
It also
photos
shows
and videos.
the quality of your products or services, whatever you have.
That is next. I mean, people see your product first, the pictures first, then they are buying. It's also important you need to have a good quality of product, because once you have the basic set of customer, then the quality of the product help you to sell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but to start with, I mean, this is very important.
Okay.
Yeah, both the thing is important, but you cannot compromise on, I mean, you even if you have a very high quality of the product, you cannot compromise on the quality of the pictures, because people see that first. Now, once you have that, you have to make sure that you also handle objections in a way that there are around 5 psychology principles. In that, 2 psychology principle is very important when you sell in e-commerce. One is social proof, second thing is scarcity. Now, social proof tells that what proof you will have in your website to make your audience aware that this is trust. I can trust this. It can be reviews. It says most of the audience average 6, I mean, most of the 90% of the audience read at least 1 to 6 reviews. So you need to have reviews.
Okay.
There's no compromise on that. You need to have badges, some certificates, whatever it is to trust the audience.
To build the trust.
Yeah, delivery timeline, all of these things, customer feedback, FAQs. If you have photos or videos of customer using it, you can do all of these things.
This all brings trust, basically.
Trust, which is very important, because people are buying directly from you, right?
Yeah,
You can have a WhatsApp icon. If somebody has a doubt, they can come to your WhatsApp and ask. Second thing, in order to sell faster, you need to have scarcity. Now, scarcity is nothing but you need to have FOMOs in your website. FOMOs means fear of missing out. So when they come to a landing page now, it is your duty to convert them as soon as possible, because if they get a message, they distract, they leave from your website.
Yeah.
Whatever the amount you spent in order to bring them to your website is a waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you need to have a scarcity FOMOs. It can be offers in the next 10 minutes, coupon codes in the next 10 minutes, first time offers, lightning deals. People put it in a very different way. You can have
be creative.
Yes.
Okay.
There is this social proof which most of the e-commerce website use. When you enter into a website, you will see in the downside, these many people are now looking your website.
Yeah.
These many people have brought in the last one hour.
Yeah.
Okay. These many products have been sold in the last 1 hour. So these are all the things, which strategies which people use in order to sell faster. So
And there is one more thing which I recently read, which says especially for ads, you have to exaggerate.
yes. So there is something called, there's a formula, PASS formula, which we call in particularly ads. Pain, agitate, solution.
Okay.
It says. So when you go in front of the people, no, you need to. We had this particular product called under eye gel. Okay, so which is used for darkness in the under eye.
Okay.
So if I have to give you an example with respect to this particular product, no, with the past formula, pain. First, we need to start talking about your pain. Do you have dark circles under your eye?
Okay.
Right now, you are going in front of the people with the pain. Right now, people who has a dark circle, they will. That's a hook. They will stay in that ad. Now agitate that pain.
Okay.
Make them feel that this pain, is forever, and this is why they're not reaching anywhere. Because of the dark circle, are you not able to face your friends? Are you not able to go out? Do you have this problem because of the dark circle? You put out a lot of other problems which comes as a starter of this particular problem, right? So you agitate that problem.
Okay.
Now whenever they go in front of the mirror, no, their eyes automatically go to, oh, I have a dark circle, and this is why I'm not getting right. So you agitate their problem. Then you tell solution. We have this particular product that will solve your dark circle in this time period.
Okay.
Now they're like, okay, I have this problem. I accept that I have, and this is why I have this many problems. I need this particular product. Now they are convinced about buying that problem, but you want them to buy fast.
Okay.
Right? Now you give an offer in front of them. If you are buying in the next 24 hours, you have this particular offer. You're not letting them think a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So I think most people, like especially a performance marketer said, or a creative person said, they are finding it difficult to find that problem. I think they know the solution, what they want and everything with this particular service or product, whatever it is. But coming back to the problem is something they're not able to find. So I think it's really, something they have to work on.
Finding the problem. See, every business idea is a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Once you understood this now, you'll start loving the problem, because next time you have a problem, first thing you think is, can I convert this as is the solution to this problem has a demand in the market?
Yeah.
Right? Because everything you do, everything, even this mic, everything is a problem solved, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be an ardent follower of problems, which I'll fail. I have this particular question with Nasif. So you started an agency in Dubai.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am a person who is about to start an agency in Dubai.
Yeah.
What advice you have for me? What mistake I need to avoid, and what is something which I need to double down, or what is your experience of starting an agency and working with a lot of clients? I'm pretty sure that you have worked with major brands in Dubai in terms of video production and social media and things. So what is your take on it?
So for me, like what I understand is that people look at our portfolio a lot. So the type of clients which we work with, and also the kind of team we have, and unfortunately the office space, where are you located?
Okay.
I think it rather than that, like people should be more aware of the what do I say, like the kind of things
Okay.
people can create, the agency can create.
Okay.
So when you said about Haris&Co, so your portfolio is main thing which everybody have to be there, and then having a proper sales team is something which everybody has to focus on.
Yes. So I have this. So we all make this mistake of not hiring a sales team.
Exactly.
I'll tell you why. Because people think that, okay, I can handle this. Similarly, HR, accounts, and sales team should be your first three staff. I'll tell. Because once you figure out a basic system for your company, everything you're about to invest will be on sales.
Okay.
Like we hire sales team in scale in our academy, and agency also we started hiring that. Because once you have the system, you need sales team, because only if there is sales, then you have everything else.
Exactly.
Right?
Because the whole thing is depending upon that sales, right?
So I'll tell you, the first three people to hire if you start an agency should be HR, finance, and sales. One. Second, your first priority should be portfolio.
Yes.
There is nothing bigger
that was
than
my next question for you.
There is nothing which give you a more leverage than portfolio which you have. When you have a very sound portfolio, that gives you a lot of confidence to talk to people, to sit in front of any pitches, right? And for your sales team also.
Yes.
So we do this activity in our office, that we ask people to breathe in and breathe out.
Okay.
And they'll start breathing, breathe out, and next time we'll ask them to think about portfolio when you breathe in. So we want people to breathe portfolio, even if for a selfish reason also. People who are very portfolio oriented, we need more people like them,
Okay.
right?
They have push, right? Like,
Yeah, at the end of the day, your results should be speaking, bringing more clients to you, because and when you have a portfolio, it's easy to sell also. We do not need to ask people to hire us as a digital marketer. What we do in our agency is we run ads, our case studies,
Okay.
right? And we take a particular industry, and whatever the case study which we have in that particular industry, we run ads towards that industry owners.
Okay.
So they see this particular case study, they read that case study, and then they contact us.
Okay.
So when people come this way, what happens is we get more quality audience, and it's easy to sell because they already know you.
Okay.
So first few years of agency, you die for portfolio. Portfolio is the biggest thing. After a point, when you have the confidence, you can.
Yeah, that's what like portfolio like stays forever. So you can literally build from there as well, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I have like one session where I want to talk about like the content. So when I say content, like you do content for social media, you do content for a campaign, you do content for like performance marketing and everything. So how do you approach each goal? How do you approach it?
So before, when I started my agency, my focus was fully on quantity.
Okay.
But now what we do is we started focusing on quality. I'll tell you why. I have a very strong reason why. It's not I put it simply.
Okay.
We do some experiments in our socials, right? So one of the experiment which we do, if you ask me how we increase followers of our brands, we do this particular experiment. We put out some videos in our social, Instagram, let's say it Instagram, and we check for 1 or 2 days if this particular video gives a minimum of 10% engagement compared to the like you have. Let's say 100 like you get, do this video has 10% of engagement. This video is being shared to 10 people, because we can see these metrics, right?
Yeah.
So if the video has a minimum of 10% engagement, that means that video is relatable. Because only if a particular content is relatable to me, I'll share to my stories or I'll share to my friends, and I'll save the video, I'll save the content, right?
Yeah.
So having the saves and shares is a metric. Saves and shares is a metric which you can see, look for virality specifically. If there is more saves and shares, the video gets more viral.
Yeah,
the
and
more
reach
video
more people.
and virality is equal to relatability, how relatable your content is to your audience, right? So when we started focusing on these metrics, once we have a very basic 10% of engagement, we understood that this video can reach much more audience, and this video have a relatability. We will start boosting this video, and this video will start giving us a lot of followers, because this metric will keep on increasing when we boost this video to the target audience.
Okay.
Right? So we started getting a lot of followers. So this is one method, and organic, no bot, nothing. It's pure strategy, right? So this particular strategy started working for us. One. So then I've understood it's important to invest on quality content, contextual content, than simply throwing out contents. So context is important when it comes to content. You can speak about anything and everything in the world, and brings you reach. Even if for a shoe brand, you can speak about apparels and bring reach. You can follow the trend and bring reach. You can take the most trending types of reels, even if it's not a quality one, you can bring reach. But what about context, right?
Yeah.
Does that relate to your brand? Does people can resonate that particular reel, trending music, whatever it is, to your brand? Is it necessary for your brand to align with that trend?
Yeah.
So you also have to connect context to your content, because you are not only here for getting some reach, you're also here for building the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you're building the brand, you need to take care of these things.
I think like about the virality and reach, when you said, like, I think most people go behind being viral, but in the end, like, if it doesn't like convert into business in the end,
That's what I
make a
tell to my
difference.
people. You have 100 people in your room. If you always go outside and look for new people, what about the people already in your room?
Yeah.
You're not taking care of them. So what happens? They will leave you. So even if you have 500 followers in your brand account, what are you doing for 500 people? Are you delivering value? Are you making their time valuable? If you start delivering them, they will start talking about your brand to the next 500 people. That's how you reach. You should not be a person who always look for go outside the door and look for new people to join you, because the people who comes to your room, no, they'll have no value
Yeah.
towards your brand. I have a few questions. So
Okay.
you tell, if somebody is starting an agency in Dubai, what is your one step, second step, third step?
So yeah, initially, like as you know, like we have to follow the rules, like get the right kind of license. It can be either like a free zone or mainland. So that is number one, and second, to have a proper sales team, as you mentioned, like the importance of sales team. That is very important. Parallelly, you should
Network
have
is also important. Having a strong network.
I do a lot of networking. I think most of my clients came through like networking. There are n number of networking opportunities here. Sometimes it could be expensive, but you have to make and assess that if it is worth the investment. Then yeah, that is another thing. Initially, yeah, I think networking is very important here.
So you are also pioneering video production.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say you are getting a script.
Okay.
What is your 1 to 10 step?
For me, like to understand if I get a script, the initial thing is like to sit on the meeting and understanding like what exactly they are aiming for, the output, like the final out, what they are expecting that video to be like seen by other people. So I understand that, because sometimes people have like very ambitious script and sometimes the messaging is not proper. I try to tell them, see, we have to change it this way. Then yeah, I look up at especially here, it's very difficult to find right talent with the right budget. So that is something we research a lot, and we also have a good database of people. So we try to approach them and align everything. And then also like for us, gladly we have our own production team, and includes like video, like videographer, photographer, editing, everything we do in-house. So that actually gives us a lot of leverage and advantage on doing stuff. And then again, if sometimes like we need approvals from the authorities, depending on the kind of shoot we do and kind of place we do, that needs to be taken care. So planning is one important thing, like pre-production, and on the production and post-production is half the things are done, like almost 75% of the things are done if you do proper pre-production, like planning.
Okay. I also have this particular question. So I was talking with a lot of people in Dubai about digital marketing agency owners, and most of the people tell two things. The first thing they tell us, social media here is more aligned with videos.
Yes.
Social media marketing is, you can put it directly equal to creating videos for them.
Exactly.
So you also have a lot of experience in video creation. So
yes.
What is your take on building a brand in social media in Dubai? So your experience according to.
Okay, so that is a very that is a question we always like argue and discuss within our team a lot. Okay. For me, the most important thing, I always align to videos for sure, because right now we all know the number of videos, and like video content is very important and stuff. And also especially Dubai is a city, or UAE in general, like we don't have enough time to wait for organic growth or try to change Instagram to change their algorithm to be in our place. So we have to play according to what the people need.
Okay.
So in Dubai, let's say for example, if anyone starts a business, they have so many costs, which is like humongous, even be it license, even be it office space, or even like people, it's all a big cost. Okay. So what happens, you have to try out with everything possible, and video is the best option. And for us, like we have certain clients on the field of like sports, gadgets and everything. So sometimes we don't even, on the videos, we don't even talk about their product, but we try to talk about the things which connect to people. Or maybe for this academy, what we do is like we try to create value addition content a lot. And this every week we have like some viral content, like let's say which goes up more than 100, like 300k, 400k on Instagram. So we figured this equation, how we can do it for each particular niche. Then that's where we are doing. And right now we literally are specializing in sports, fitness, academies and all, because we have already figured out the equation how should be done. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. Another question which I have is, when I was talking with a lot of people, as you said, most of the agencies here is always, most of the clients is always on a rotation mode. They work with an agency for 6 months. The agencies dump them with the creatives. Then it's not result oriented. They do it for the sake of doing it. And 6 months, the client will go to the next agency.
Yeah.
So nobody talks this particular word, that is result oriented.
Yeah.
Nobody seeks results. Nobody put forward result. It's always on a rotation mode. So what is your take on a result oriented? I believe that marketing should always be an ROI process.
Exactly.
Be it branding, some kind of ROI should be
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So what is your take on that?
So I have recently discussed with one of our other agency owner. So he was mentioning this term called agency hopping.
Okay.
So which means like a client goes to an agency, work with them for a period of time, then which the main point, ROI. There is no ROI. They're spending money on marketing, on social media, performance marketing, everything. Then they don't feel like they're getting the ROI, and then they go to the next one.
Okay.
So this keeps on happening because the number of agencies in Dubai are like so many.
Okay.
Like you could, jokingly say that it's equal to the number of agents, real estate agents there are.
Okay.
So it's both fields. It's the same.
Okay.
So for sure, like we have to do testing all the time. And so once we do the testing and we figured out how it works, we have to try to scale it and bring the ROI. And for sure, like the client also should have some patience. We can't see a result the second day. We should have some patience in that as well.
Okay. I think that's all about the discussion.
I think we had a really good discussion. I never thought like the first session will go something like this. Anyway, thank you, Haris. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so
wish
much.
you all the best for your academy and agency opening in Dubai. And if anything happens, you know who to come to.
Definitely. Great. Thank you so much, Nasir, for inviting me. I think we had a very great discussion, and we'll continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.